July the 2nd, 2023. Guys, this video is kind of a continuation from the one this morning. And it came out this afternoon at 1:20 by Jim Hoff with Gateway Pundit. We knew this was going to come, but what we're seeing in advance of what's coming to our country and a lot of others is what is now happening in France. It's a chess game that's been played for years and years. Create a problem, then create a trigger incident like the shooting that we saw that started these riots, and then create a problem, in other words, your order out of chaos. So we're reading two different things here, so keep your eyes open. And I'm going to read through it, and I know the light bulbs are going to be coming on. It said the Minister of the Interior in France announced on Sunday the country will restrict the internet access in certain neighborhoods as the violence continues across the country. According to the Ministry of the Interior, the restrictions are meant to prevent the use of social media and other platforms to organize violent activities. We understand that because you've seen the fires and the looting and the attacks. Everything you can name has been going on there, and they think the last I heard they had to pull in 45,000 police. But anyway, so again, you create the situation, create a trigger, then create the solution. Always trust the government to come in and save you, especially when they created this to start with. And then you hear this coming out of the Midnight Rider. Says France is planning a shutdown of the nation's internet in an attempt. This is the truth, in my opinion. I think there's truths in both sides of the story. But France is planning a shutdown of the nation's internet in an attempt to stop the world from seeing what invaders are doing to the nation. Don't want to show, especially the New World Order does not want this seen worldwide. This is what we've done to your country. This is what we're doing to all the countries with open borders. This is what's coming to a neighborhood near you. So they're saying we're coming to save you and stop some of the rioting and the looting and the fires. We're just going to have to shut down your communication to do it. It says in just the span of a few days, France has devolved into a Middle Eastern nation engulfed in war and is now limiting news from reaching the outside world. In other words, that's its answer to this. Now, what we're going to look at here is a translation from the French version of this order. So it sounds a little strange, but there's a link here where you can go and see the original version in French. It says from the Ministry of the Interior. It's a press release. It's to reinforce security following the riots to prevent disturbances to public order. Again, you see this today's date. This is saying July in the middle, the 2nd, 2023. The Ministry of the Interior would like to inform the population of the exceptional measures put in place to ensure public security and tranquility in the context of the recent riots. They should have added in there that we caused, we started, and here's our solution. As part of our commitment to maintain order and stability in the affected areas, additional measures have been decided to prevent any form of violence and disturbance. From July the 3rd for a fixed period, they don't give you an ending date. Temporary restrictions will be applied to internet access in certain specific neighborhoods during night hours. These restrictions aim to prevent the misuse of social media and online platforms to coordinate illegal actions and incite violence. But couldn't they organize during the daytime? Not only that, one of the first things that popped in my head when I was reading this is they're going to take down your ability to go to, like, I guess, Twitter, Facebook, or Snapchat, whatever they have. But they're not going to cut the cell phone capabilities off, because they say we have to have that, and you have to have it in case someone gets sick or you need to call 911. So not only you can do it in the daytime, well, they're saying nighttime here, but you can bet this is going to change very quickly when the riots do not come down to a certain level, which they're not going to allow to do, they will continue to take away all of this. But anyway, so not only are they going to saying here you can do it in the daytime, but they're not cutting the cell phones. Now, my cell phone does not go onto the internet. I never have signed it on to anything unless it was an emergency to go to Google or any of that. None of it's turned on, it's turned off. The only thing I use my phone is to call or take a call, or to take text and take a text. All the others turned off. But they're not, again, so if I were to communicate, it would be with a text or a phone call. So you still have that ability to communicate. I think they're right in saying that it's the move to take away all your freedom of speech. It says it is important to note that these restrictions are not put in place to restrict the fundamental freedoms of citizens. The government is here to help you, but rather in order to preserve their safety as well as that of their property. In addition, the measures will not affect essential services such as hospitals, emergency services, and critical infrastructure. In addition, we would like to reassure the population that the telephone services, which make it possible to reach loved ones or contact medical teams if necessary, will operate normally. Mobile and landline operations will continue to operate their services without interruption to ensure the availability of essential communication at all times. Again, from the Director General of the National Police. But this is not a long video. I didn't want it to be. This is what's happening there. And we're going to start seeing less and less information coming out from it. But as long as people do have some phone and internet access, the word will get out. And so, again, they put in the fear factor. Massive riots caused by, again, the conflict of civilizations. And here's their answer. In the excuse of protecting you, take away your communication. That's the first thing that happens in any battle. The communication lines go down. Second casualty is the truth. We're about to see both of that happen here. But again, we don't know how far they will go with this. And if you think about this, if you want to instigate more riots, this is a perfect way to do it, isn't it? Start taking away more privileges, more communication methods. And you think they won't riot over a kid that actually had almost 20 arrests or attempted arrest and felony reports, and had multiple of those were fleeing police. Now, I'm not saying anybody has to die, but this was not an angel walking the streets. He was, I think he was a gangbanger too, guys. So they put it all in place. I'd like to hear your comments below. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.